Now, if we start with the number 3 billion, and then we start looking at what were these problematic lot and batches, which is the way I've looked at this thing from the standpoint of the way I look at the world, because I look at the world through the lens of risk management and risk transfer. Most people don't know that my corporation is involved in risk management. We happen to do financial risk management, but we are very intimately involved in the broader sector of what we think of as actuarial sciences that give rise to insurance. And so what I've been doing is I've been looking at that number and then looking at the number of lots that were associated with extremely high adverse events. And Seth, you know that there's been a lot of conversation about the fact that there are certain batches that had high degrees of problematic adverse events and certain batches that seem to have no effect at all. If you look at the number of problematic batches, you're talking about 7 to 15%, somewhere in that range of all the batches are the ones that had extremely severe adverse events. So now what we're talking about is we're talking on the best case. And I want you to hear the words I just said. On the best case, we're talking about permanent death and disability to 300 million people. That is the best case. That is the entire population of the United States distributed across the world. That is the number we're talking about. And that's the best case. Now, let's put that into context. When we think about what this means, and Seth, I know that you're at an age, I know I'm at an age where we understand the challenges of aging parents and friends with aging parents and the amount of care that is required to deal with people who are suffering from long-term effects of stroke, of disability, of paralysis, of neurologic degenerative problems, of Alzheimer's, of all sorts of other neurologic disorders. What we know is that this 300 million people takes out another 300 or more million people. Because these are people who will not be able to be part of the contributing economy. They're not going to be able to be doing the things that they have historically done because they will be, in fact, involved in the near 24/7 care of the individuals who are actually in that other 300 million. So we're talking about 600 million people incapacitated.